This is Shelley Kraft, and welcome to SNN Live. We're at the Cambridge House Resource Investment Conference. We're in Toronto 2011. I have standing next to me Jeff Berwick, the one and only Dollar Vigilante. How are you?
I'm doing great, Shelley. How are you?
Are you being vigilant?
Oh, yes, always vigilant, always paying attention to what the government is doing and stealing from us and robbing us and putting us in cages and all that sort of stuff.
Well, there's no limit to how much information they're giving you for your work.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's really, I remember a few years ago, it didn't seem like there was that much stuff happening. Every day now, though, it's just every state, every city, even different countries, it's just people getting arrested, lemonade stands getting shut down. You can't do anything anymore in the U.S. or Canada, really.
I mean, you have to thank the gods above for Obama being elected. I mean, what material?
Yeah, I said that the other day. I said that it's, I hate the guy, but I also gotta love him because he gives us so much material. And the same thing with Ben Bernanke. You hate the guy, but he's making us so much money on gold. You gotta love him at the same time, even though he's a complete idiot.
And then you got to feel the same way about Goldman Sachs.
Oh, it's all the same criminal, artificial financial system. It's all, we have a Federal Reserve which is based on fiat currency, and it's actually one of the main tenets of communism is having a central bank. Central banks have nothing to do with the free market. So when you have that as the basis of your entire financial system, of course you're going to grow up all of these criminal organizations around it, Goldman Sachs and all of them. And of course every person involved with Goldman Sachs becomes the Treasury Secretary, and it's just a big,
another cabinet member.
Yeah, it's just a big game, and the sooner the people realize that, the sooner they can protect themselves and realize that what they say on the news, what they say on CNBC, what the government says, what Barack Obama says, it's all basically lies and propaganda, and you have to really just be aware of that. But thankfully now we have the internet and shows like yours and lots of people doing stuff like this, and we can actually talk, because they wouldn't never have me on CNBC or NBC or any of them.
No, because they'll be taken off by the FCC.
Yeah, of course, it's all regulated, and I'd probably end up in Guantanamo Bay pretty quick. So
yeah, and you'll probably be water tortured if I know them. Anyway, what did you feature speak about today?
The big thing that I'm talking about here today is basically just preparing for the collapse that's ongoing right now. We had the first shock wave of the collapse in 2008. They papered it over again by counterfeiting currency yet again, and it's going into the second phase of the collapse again now. So it's really important for people. I know it seems okay right now, but things can really fall apart very quickly, especially once all these things start to collapse. There might be a few years left, but definitely not more than a few years, and so you really just need to protect yourself and do things like get money outside of the financial system. All the things that you would have done from 1970 to 1990 or 2000, do the exact opposite now. Just get outside of the financial system, get out of bonds, get out of even RSPs in Canada or IRAs in the US. Just get out of anything like that. Put them into gold, put them outside of your own country as well, because your own government, when it starts to collapse, they'll do anything. It's been proven time and time again in history that when governments start to collapse, they'll do anything to stay alive, basically. They're like an organism, a giant criminal organism, basically. And so it's really important to get your money outside of where they can take it away from you.
So your brethren, your followers are increasing, and it's word of mouth. I mean, you have a followership. I mean, I have to tell you, I know personally, because you get so many hits.
Yeah, whatever I'm saying seems to be resonating with people. I think most people, whether they admit it to themselves or not, know this is ongoing, but a lot of people are sort of living in denial. So a lot of the people I talk to, they'll say things like, I don't want to hear about it, I don't want to know. Well, that's fine. You can ignore the reality for a while, but you can't ignore the consequences of reality, and that's what Ayn Rand said. And it's really, you can try to hide from this stuff, but if you really want to protect yourself and your family and the people you love, it's really important to start paying attention to these sort of things right now. It's what they're saying to you on the TV is mostly all lies, and you have to pay attention to shows like yours and find out the real truth.
What's your background for those who haven't seen you before?
My background, I started stockhouse.com, which is the largest financial website in Canada. I started that in 1994. And basically I did that for a while, and then what happened was I went through the whole tech bubble. So that was another Federal Reserve caused bubble with Greenspan back then. And so I had this company I started on my house, and within a few years it was worth $250 million, and it was in 20 different countries around the world. We had 300 staff. And a few months later, after the tech bubble crashed, it was basically worthless again. And after all that I went through, that was really quite stressful, actually, and especially I was younger at the time. I was in my 20s, and I went through this whole crazy thing, and it was really quite difficult. But afterwards I thought, what happened? What was that? And that's when I started to learn about Austrian economics and those sort of things, and that's the only thing that explains what's really going on, because if you listen to the Keynesian economics guys, they say that all this government spending and counterfeiting, it's all helps the economy. It's the exact opposite, and that's what causes all these bubbles. So the tech bubble, the real estate bubble in the U.S., these are all things that have been created.
Soon to come, the dollar bubble.
Well, yeah, the dollar's inflating like crazy, and that's, I think, the next big mania. I think we're going to have probably one or two more, and I think one of the big ones is going to be in gold stocks. And so that's why I come to these shows, and we talk to a lot of these companies. I know you talk to all of them. A lot of great gold companies, and a lot of these things, in the 1970s, a lot of those stocks went from $1 to $100. We haven't seen that yet at all. Even in 1995, 96, when we had Bre-X and Diamond Fields, we really saw stocks go from $1 to $100. We haven't had any of those lately, and I think we're going to have them. So that's sort of one of the last bubbles, and this bubble will end with the end of the U.S. dollar, with the end of fiat currencies. They're going to have to back currencies with something, or allow the free market to create currencies, which is things like Bitcoin,
gold standard.
Gold standard, or it'd be my preference to have the government out of the money system. The government shouldn't have any role in the economy. That's all sort of communist, socialist, sort of USSR type stuff, and it's amazing how people have fallen for it again, and they just keep falling for it. The guys with beards will tell us what to do, and they'll manage the economy. No one manages the economy. We all have to manage ourselves.
Website:
dollarvigilante.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Berwick, the Dollar Vigilante. And by the way, this is a man with an opinion. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Good to have you.